I think the question I'm about to ask people is how bad do you want to win? You know what I mean? Like and that's a serious question because everybody say they want to win, but how bad do you want to win? Like if you have a team, right, or you're trying to put together a team, what role are you going to play in the team? You know, I had like a extensive like sports background, so I'll use like sports as an analogy to kind of help get my point across. Like it's like when you playing football, you know what I mean? Like you can't win a Super Bowl, you can't win a national championship without putting a team together. You know what I mean? Everybody has to play their role and has to play their position. So if you're trying to win, what position are you trying to play? What position do you feel like suits your expertise or capabilities the best? Because I think a lot of time, especially in music, like and especially in hip hop, and a lot of times, when you got teams, seems like everybody, well, at least with the teams, they don't seem to win like they're supposed to. Everybody is trying to be the quarterback. Everyone's trying to be the face of the franchise or the face of the team. And that's impossible. Everybody can't be the quarterback or the face of the team. So I think the realistic question is, how bad do you want to win? Like, do you want to win bad enough that you're willing to sit down with the squad and evaluate whose job is what, whose strengths is what, you know what I mean? Who's the quarterback, who's playing defense, who's the receiver, et cetera, et cetera. Like, you know what I mean? And then can you remove ego enough so that you can actually win? You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, like when you look at certain situations, you look at certain crews, certain teams, you can tell, especially with the teams who make it, the successful ones, that guys' main goal is to win. And what I mean by win is having financial security, having generational wealth, having the ability to wake up and do what you want to do when you feel like doing it, and not worrying about how you're going to pay your mortgage, how you're going to pay property tax if you own your house already, how you're going to pay your car, or how you're going to pay your insurance if you own your car already, how you're going to pay your medical bills, what school you send your kids to, how you're going to set up a trust fund or whatever for your children and the people after you. You know what I mean? Like that's, to me, that's what everyone's trying to achieve. You know what I mean? Because there ain't too many people that's doing that's not happy. You know what I mean? And the people that are doing that are not happy is probably because they're not giving. Because they say that scientifically they say that giving is one of the best emotions that you can invoke. You know what I mean? Like it's cool to receive, but when you give, they say it feels better. You know what I mean? So when you see the people who do have the financial security and they're still not happy, that's probably because they're not giving, they're not helping anybody. But you know what I mean? Like when you're helping people, when you're winning at the same time, I think that's where you find your euphoria. You know what I mean? So the question I'm asking people is like, how bad do you want to win? You know what I mean? Like, because you have to at some point put a team together if you're trying to win. You can't just do it by yourself. You know what I mean? Like whether that be you and your wife or you and your husband, whoever watching this video, or it be you and your siblings. You know what I mean? Or maybe you and your parents. Maybe you and your parents are doing a business or something. Like you have to put a team together. So you have to figure out who's the quarterback. And just in the entertainment business, because that's more so what I'm sticking to. Like, and especially in this country, you have to understand marketability. Like the ability to market yourself, the ability to market your team, you know what I mean? Somebody has to be the face. Somebody has to be the face of whatever you're trying to do so that you can market it and get it to the most people and get the interaction, the impressions, the clicks or whatever, you know what I mean? So it was like, you have to figure out who the quarterback is. And I think a lot of teams fail because you got 4 or 5 guys trying to be the quarterback, and that ain't everybody's role. You know what I mean? You have to accept that my role is my role, his role is his role, et cetera, et cetera. But the main goal is for us to get financial security and generational wealth and just be able to do what we love to do and take care of our families at the same time. You know what I mean? So I think I would encourage like younger people that are starting out in the entertainment business, and you got a squad, you got a team together, figure out who's the quarterback, figure out who's, coaching, so to speak, figure out who's playing the defense, like, like making sure that, you guys keep your brand clean and you're not getting involved in any mess. You know what I mean? Who's the business guy, like out of the team? Who's the most creative? You know what I'm saying? Who's the person with the visual, perspective on what you guys want to do? And like try to, everybody stay in their lane. And, I think that make everything more, more cohesive and more mechanical in terms of actually moving in the right direction. You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of times, you know, especially in our community, especially like in the black community, like everybody want to shine, and like everybody can't shine. You know what I mean? Like you gotta find your space, and you gotta find your niche, so that you can actually be successful. Because ain't cool being a guy trying to be the guy on a team. The team is losing. Like that's not fun at all. You know what I mean? You can watch any professional sport, and it'll be a team, and that team is trash, and like their best player is not even the third best player on a winning team, but he's all they got, so he got to do everything, and they just not winning. And he might be the face of the team, but he don't look happy. You know what I mean? He's not as happy as the guy that's number 3 on the team that keeps going back to the chip every season. You know what I mean? Like, so you got to ask yourself in life, like, especially when you're doing the entertainment business, if you have a squad, how bad do you actually want to win? Are you willing to be, quote unquote, Draymond Green so that you can win? Because you can't be Steph Curry. You know what I mean? Are you willing to be, you know, Rajon Rondo because you can't be LeBron on the Lakers? You know what I mean? Like, you have to ask yourself, like, can I just be, you know, Joe Harris, like, because I can't be James Harden or Kevin Durant? You know what I mean? Still play a role and try to bring home a championship so we can win. We can all get what we're trying to get at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Because it's about your kids at the end of the day. It's about the people that's coming after you. Because those are the people that are looking up to you. Those are the people that you're trying to feed. You're trying to set up and put in a great position so that they can start off strong out the blocks and not have to struggle as much as you did. And when they do struggle, it'll be a completely different scenario, completely different form of struggle that they have to deal with in their own life that's not probably based around finances. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you would hope for, you know what I mean, for your child, for your children. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like, that's just me. You know, I just had this thought. I just thought I'd share with everybody. You know what I mean? Like, let me know, like, you know, if you're doing entertainment and you have a team, you know, have you guys figured out the roles that everyone's supposed to play? Have you guys figured out who's quarterbacking it, who's playing defense, who might be coaching you guys, who's handling the analytics? Like, have you guys put these things in perspective? Have you sat down and figured it out? And is everybody cool with just being who they are in their role? You know what I mean? Like I said, everybody can't take the snaps and throw the ball. You know what I mean? Everyone can't be in front of the camera and do all the questions. You know what I mean? So, you know, you have to ask yourself, like, you know, have you guys had that conversation? Have you worked it out? You know what I mean? I think that's really, really important. And, you know, so if you like this video, by all means, hit like, hit share it with somebody who might be interested in hearing this perspective. You know what I mean? Write down below what your comments are. You know what I mean? Let me know where you are in your journey, where your team is in their journey, how you guys are working it out. And like I always say, if you haven't already done it, please, please, please subscribe. You know what I mean? There'll be more content, you know, more engagements. And I appreciate you guys, and have a blessed day. RICKSHON signing off.
For all time.